Minecraft is a world of limitless possibilities. And that's also the problem. Because when everything is possible, where do you start? Maybe you've sat there knowing there's endless possibilities, yet you still wander around, aimless, waiting for inspiration just to log off. What if I told you something? The answer isn't out there. It's right here in your hands, as long as you're willing to start. Even if it's from scratch. Oh my gosh, this farm sucks. I don't think I can do this anymore. I need a new XP farm. I just don't know what to do. Like, I can't do an Enderman farm because we're not in the end yet. What do I do? What do I do? What kind of farm can I do that gets me XP quickly, but I don't need to go to the end? Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I could do a silverfish farm. There's got to be some armadillos around here somewhere. I know there is. I swear. I think... Did I see some over here? Hello? Any armadillos? Hello? And hole. Are they down here? Hello? No. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I put one right here. Oh, of course. And then we have a bunch right here. Hey guys, how you doing? Okay. I hate myself for that. I might have went and got these and then messed up the footage, but that's honestly besides the point. So we are going to make a silverfish farm. And if you don't know how a silverfish farm works, basically you throw infestation potions onto the armadillos and somehow we get silverfish and the silverfish go boom, boom, they die and we get XP and we get a lot of XP as well. But if we're going to do this and if we're going to do it right, we actually need to go to the nether. Whoa, what in the... Get out of my shot, sheep. Come on. Anyways, if we are going to get this done and if we're going to do it right, we need infestation potions. But that does mean we actually need to go to the nether in order to make this work because I do have a brewing stand. I just don't have blaze rods and I don't have any nether wart either. So we're going to have to go to the fortress and see if we can actually get some. Hopefully this goes well. You know, I'm not scared. I am not scared. I'm very brave, actually. I am extremely brave. So nothing about the nether scares me. In fact, I am notoriously known for not being scared. I heard that. What was that? I heard it. What was it? Okay. I think we're safe. Shut. Are they down here? Where is this person? Okay, we're just gonna go. Where do I go? I don't know where to go. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't bring... Why didn't I bring a shield? What was I thinking? You know what? I don't need a shield. I'm gonna be fine. There's nothing here that I need a shield for. Oh, there's a spawner right there. Ooh. Oh, serpentine. 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 Yeah, I see you over there. Think you're all cool in your spawner. Just wait. Your time's coming. Okay, we're gonna need 16 because I want enough to make potions as well as Eyes of Ender to get to the end without having to come back here for a little bit if we don't need it. We did it. All right, we can go. Okay, now we just need to figure out how the heck we're gonna get out of here. I don't even know where I came from. Oh my. Which way did I come from? Hey, sir, do you know where spawn is? Do you know where spawn's at? Do you know where spawn's at? I don't know how to get to spawn. Ah, we made it. I didn't think I was gonna die once. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Actually, that was pretty good. It's gonna happen. Goodbye, crew. I feel pretty good about that. All right, we have everything that we need for our XP farm. And if you're wondering, no, we do not use a dried gas to get XP. That's actually just a decoration block because our farm is going to go somewhere in this area. I've already designed the terraforming and the barn that's going to go right here. And our farm is going to be inside of that barn. There's going to be a trapdoor that opens up that takes us down below to our XP farm. And so what I want to do actually is go to a little creative flat world and show you the mechanics of the farm and how it's actually going to work. Here we are in our creative flat world, and this is what the farm looks like. In order to get XP using armadillos and silverfish, you need a campfire, 24 armadillos, a zombie, a dispenser, and in that dispenser you want to have a splash potion of infestation. Because the zombie is right here actually scaring the armadillos are going to shell up. And whenever the armadillos shell up, they actually don't die due to fire damage. So if you did this without the zombie, all of the armadillos would just die. How this actually works is the splash potion is going to splash the armadillos and it's going to infest them. Once they're infested, they have a 10% chance that they're actually going to spawn silverfish. Once that happens, all the silverfish are going to pop out, go up the bubble column, and we're going to be here in the kill chamber hitting this armor stand every second, killing the armadillos, and we will actually collect the XP. I will say, is this the most efficient way to do it? No, it's not. But is it fun? Yes, it is fun, and that's all that matters because I need something functional, but I want it to fit within our area so that way all of the builds that we create over time actually have a use and there's a purpose and something we can actually go back there for. I did another design here, and this was just kind of like the test run. I put a fence here to try and kill them, and then I realized that we can actually just use an armor stand. So let me actually go ahead and show you how this thing works. All right, so I put us in survival mode. We're gonna go ahead and press this. As you can see, let's go ahead and do this again. I've actually refilled the armadillos. There was a block missing in that area right there. Let's go ahead and hop back up here. We hit that, it splashes them, and as you can see, silverfish just start flying out. They go up the bubble column, and then they will be here, ready for us to start collecting the XP. So if we just hit this, you can see we're actually getting the XP. Now I'm level 52 right now, so I'm leveling up a bit slowly. It gets you to about level 30, or I would say 45 within the full 3-minute period. So level 30 pretty quick, and then out to level 45 by the time the end of the 3-minute splash potion is up. When it comes to this game, I like to do a mix of what's fun and functional, something that allows us to play the game in a creative way, but also enjoy everything that we built. So I'm really excited to go ahead and get this going into the world. Let's flip back over to our survival world and make this happen. Oh no, I broke it. What was I thinking? I wasn't. We're almost there. Almost the moment of truth. So once we press this button right here, then the dispenser will fire off our infestation potions into the armadillos. I'm really hoping this works. All right, they're all going out. We have an armadillo. Yeah, he's gonna die. That's okay. It's working. Yes. Oh my gosh. Look at this. So much better. All right, here, let's see how fast we can heal this thing up. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that was fast. Oh, that's so nice. Now, I don't have mending on any of my armor or anything like that because I've been waiting to get a good XP farm in order to enchant my gear. So what we're going to do now is enchant some gear, and then we can finally start building. So I started just like that. And quickly, I learned something. Ideas don't fade because they're impossible. Rather, they fade because nothing was there to hold them. I've had ideas, plenty of them. Each one pulling me forward, different directions, showing me what could be. But when I tried to build them, they just fell apart. Not because the ideas were wrong, though. I just forgot the most important part. The foundation, the glue, the thing that everything else would need to stand on. The foundation is what makes an idea unbreakable. And once that's there, everything else becomes possible. We have a couple things here that I've been really enjoying playing around with the idea of, which is just little patches of coarse dirt with moss and different types of bush and life in the area. And same with these mangrove roots, putting them with birch leaves around bushes. So it simulates, a bush, but some of the leaves are gone. So maybe the bush is dying. And with this area, because, we have all the way back into here with this island, I want to actually do a forest in this area here with some really cool terrain. So I'm gonna get pretty creative with different types of rocks and probably arches with the rocks, and we're gonna do, I believe it's called a polyculture forest, where we're gonna have lots of different trees and wildlife, just so the area feels immersive and welcoming, so we can walk through it and there's an ambiance with it. Originally it was gonna be just a big flat area, and it was super boring. And I just remembered that, hey, this is Minecraft and we can literally build whatever the heck we want. And a little rolling knoll, fancy with the rolling knoll, the rolling hill up here just felt like a good fit for what we're going to be putting up here. And it also fits with the theme of making this world immersive, right? Really working with the terrain to bring our builds into the area. And we didn't do anything super crazy with the cliff face itself. We have a small little gradient going up of deep slate and coal to the cobblestone and tuff. I will get some more deep slate and pull this all the way down. I'm just getting the skeleton together this right now. And really the deep slate is just to mimic water splashing up onto the rocks, because that's what happens when rocks get wet, right? They're going to be darker. And then I started experimenting with shading the rocks a little bit on this side right here, as if the sun, well, I guess the sun, yeah, it's coming down right there. And so you could see here it's lighter and then it gets a little bit darker. And then as you get to the back here, right, these rocks aren't really going to have the lighter color because they're further behind other rocks. So just kind of experimenting with it. I'm not, a color theorist or anything like that. I just like to play a block game. But of course, at the same time, I want to get better and grow and develop my skill set. Now, we still have a lot to do, because if we go up here, I think it's going to be like in this little spot. I can hear the armadillos. Yep. You can see, ow, our farm is right there, and we need a way to get into that farm. Believe it or not, that's not how we're supposed to do it. We have a build we're going to be putting up top there. And so the build that we're going to be putting up here is actually a barn, and I've got something pretty cool that I really like. It fits well here on this hill. And one thing I was having a tough time with was scale. I had another barn design that I was going to use originally, but the scale didn't match up with our original starter home over here. But it's going to give us a reason to continually explore our island here. This is going to be the farming district. So we're going to have all of the farms here, the villagers, everything that we need is going to be in this area. So let's go ahead and get started on this barn. I'm really excited to finally finish this build. Impossible only feels impossible until someone is crazy enough to believe in the idea. And that's where everything starts. I knew that from the beginning. Where do the ideas come from? Who knows? Where can it take you? Well, that depends. And it depends on you. Will it stay inside you, or will you give it to the world? Will you listen and follow the ideas where it leads? Because the idea will take you somewhere new. A place that breathes life into a new world. What started as nothing becomes everything. And that world comes alive. I'm going to show you something, and you have to promise not to laugh, okay? Does this look like a face? Like a mad face? Eyeballs, eyebrows, even some earrings, and he's just angry right here? Oh, yeah, we built a face. When you look at it from this angle, you gotta promise me you don't think face, think barn. From this angle, it looks much better, much more like an actual barn. Especially as you're walking right over this bridge, it's the perfect sight line. But we also have so much open space to continue building our farming district. Now, there's a couple of things on this build that I really wanted to point out because as I'm building up the world, right, I'm thinking about the area that we live in and what the trade would look like and how things would be affected, like how materials would be affected. And that's why I actually went with stripped spruce. Hey, I'm talking here, guy. What? I'm talking. I went with the stripped spruce and oak wood along with acacia. And I did this because this looks like a patch job, right? If you were to go a little bit further back over here, it looks like there's just like a big piece of wood that got affected by the elements due to all the wind and the water and just everything, all the moisture in the air due to living on the ocean. And so they had to go through and patch it up. And so we did that in a couple different spots. You could see like right here on the side. I used some brown mushroom as well right there just to make some lighter spots. I'll probably go and change that to brown concrete because I think it'll just actually look a lot better. And we did it here and then some spots over here. I really wanted to see what we could get away with from a minimalistic perspective. Instead of just going all super crazy on a bunch of different blocks, I just wanted it to be really simple and still communicate what it was that we wanted to communicate. Nope. Oh my goodness. Okay. Whew, there we go. I just needed to sleep a little bit. I do have some bodyguards here. We have gravy and biscuits. I ended up actually finding a pack of dogs out that way when I was getting some resources. I actually designed a different barn door than this one originally, and I actually just updated my game to get all of the new blocks, and these shelves do so well for a barn door. And I just took some of the polished deep slate walls and put it on top, kind of like it's, what would that be? You know, the little bar that the doors slide across. I don't even know what the name would be called, right? Just to make it a little bit more realistic. Inside, we don't have all of our animals in here just yet. As you can see, we're starting to have some little babies in there. Earlier, if you remember, my armadillo farm, this is actually where it sits. We have everything we need, right? Some nether wart. We have everything we need to make an infestation potions, a brewing stand here. And yeah, this place is just really cool. It's nice and cozy, but it gives us a reason to actually be here. Now, we are missing something here. There is actually a rickety staircase that will go all the way up to the top. In fact, I probably need to get this going sooner than later because yeah, this is spawnable and I'm probably going to get some creepers dropped on me. However, I need copper. I need to go out and get some copper so I can make some copper trapdoors. Then I got to let them age and do that whole thing, you know. Oh, speaking of, yeah, I was tired of waiting, so I just put those in to let them age there. Over here, we have our dead tree. I was experimenting with something. For some reason, I really want to have a bunch of dead trees around the area. I just love the idea of that because it seems and feels much more realistic, right? If you go to a park and you look at all of the nature, you'll have trees that are blooming and growing rapidly and have tons of leaves and they're really bushy and just seem full of life. And then right next to it, you're gonna have a tree that's dead or has barely any life on it. And so when it comes to this area, the environment is going to be what pulls all of this together. It's not just going to be the builds. I love the build. I think it's really cool, but our environment is going to make it feel so much better. It's going to make it feel so much more homey, and it's just going to give it that exciting feeling whenever we walk through it, as long as we have the immersion and things feel a bit more realistic, right? I guess if I'm talking about wanting to be in the environment, it's fitting that it's raining. One thing I did want to point out, I don't know if you could see it, but in the shelves, you see the little planks there? Little slabs, planks, out of planks, come on. You see the little slabs here? This makes such a cool handle. So it looks like you can actually just take it and then pull it right over to close it, especially when we have these tiled deep slate walls up top. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about the shelves, but I think it's a lot of fun. Oh, and for this wagon, this actually is not my design. I saw a picture on Pinterest, copied it. What I'm going to do is link the board that I created for the inspiration to this episode. There's a couple different photos I looked at as a reference just to get a inspiration on how to do a bit more detail on the outside. However, the barn itself with the silo and the windmill is something that I came up with a while ago. I did have to actually make this build smaller though. I had a different barn build that I was going to use, and it was much bigger on the inside. It had cool little cross beams. It was multi-level, but when I put it in the world, the scale was just so off. You know, it was so big compared to our little starter home over there. And even though it's over here, when you looked at it from back at this angle or even from like this angle over here, it just felt so out of place. Hi, Biscuits. Do you wanna tell him? Do you want to tell him, Gravy? You can tell him. I think I'm losing it talking to animated dogs in a video game. Well, that wraps it up for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment. I would love to know, what you think about, one, the dead tree behind me over there, but two, what would go in this world? And if there's something that would look good with the theme and what is we're trying to build here, I will absolutely add it to the world. Also, I need some names for our doggo over here, for our sheep, and then we have one more doggo over here. So if you have any names, leave them in the comments and I'll pick the best name out of that. In the next episode, we need to continue what we're doing with the infrastructure because we don't have any way to get consistent emeralds. We need a way to get paper and we need a way to get some gunpowder because we're gonna start gearing up for the end. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Hey, you got a dream.